back to my channel. This is Fiona, Lavender Blue. So in this video I'm working more on the flip-flop journal, which we started a few videos ago, and I'm turning this into a playlist so that you can follow along in making this flip-flop journal from start to finish. Okay, so it's got 3 signatures. I did the cover off camera, but I did sort of explain how I did it. Just a piece of lace, sorry about that, just a piece of lace in the back there, and I used a frame. This frame was from Temu, it's just a die cut, and one of my green ladies photos, green hues, and there's a set of those in my Etsy shop. And I've got pink ones and blue ones and neutral ones as well. A green butterfly, one of the clusters we made on video the other day. And then I just put a bit of trim there. And that's what I did for my cover. And then we made this in the last Freebie Friday video. This is a free printable. Should be, I think, 2 videos ago. If you go back 2 videos, you'll find this one. I've just placed it there because I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put it yet. And then I've done my fabric ruffles. I actually did a TikTok video making these fabric ruffles. So if you want to head over to my TikTok, you'll be able to see that, which is pretty straightforward. And my TikTok is linked below. So now the next thing, what I wanted to do was I wanted to, you know how in the US you get guest checks, or I think they get them in the US anyway, but I haven't seen them, you know, in Australia. We don't get the guest checks that you guys get. So what I did, and I actually want 3 of those, 1 for each signature, was I just bought one of these tax invoice books. You see them, you know, in the stationery section of most stores, even in the supermarket, newsagents. You'll find them in the stationery section. So I ripped out a couple of them, and I'm going to rip out another one. That's if I can open the page. And I'm going to alter these because I want to turn them into journal cards. Now when you've ripped these out, you also have, you know, the clear pages, which is like the copy page. It's beautiful paper, so you could also use that in your journals. I can imagine this paper tea-dyed, actually. It would look really nice. I've got a little number there. So that's just an idea if you can't get hold of the guest checks. But as I said, I want to alter them. So, and I'm just checking the size of them. They are nice and tall. So the height is about exactly right for this flip-flop for the taller pages, but I just need to cut some off the width. So I think if I cut maybe about 1 inch, I need to cut maybe about 1 inch off to make them the right width. Where's my paper trimmer? I don't have that handy. So let's just, and I'm also going to back them with some craft paper. Now I'm just wondering which end I don't really want to cut the number out. Let's see what happens if I cut. This might not be enough. I'm just trying it. My longer scissors for this. Now let's see. Yeah, no, that's fine. Should fit in there, shouldn't they? Maybe just a tad more. Just a tad. A tad. I couldn't tell you how much a tad is. It's just a little bit. There we go. It looks fairly straight to me. Maybe a little wonky at the top there. Actually, let me get my ruler. Which I should have done in the first place, but I'm lazy. Let's get my ruler and my trimmer. So I'm just lining up the bottom with my lines on this cutting mat. And yep, that was way crooked. Let's get my craft knife. So we're going to alter these. And I will back them with some craft paper. It's kind of a bit thicker than ordinary paper. Or you can back them with a coffee dyed paper. You can back them with some cardstock. But before I back them, I think I'll do the altering because it might be a little bit messy. So I've got 3, I've got 1 for each signature. That's better. Alright, so I'm going to put a little piece of plastic under me, and this is just a freezer bag, nothing special. Any piece of plastic. Oops, I accidentally flicked the switch on my sewing machine then, if you heard something. I was just moving something out the way and I accidentally switched my sewing machine on. Okay, I've got so much stuff here. Sorry guys, I should have cleaned up a little bit. But okay, can you see? Yep. So I'm going to lay these 3 on here. Actually, a good, did I already say that? A good piece of plastic to use would be a cereal liner, a cereal box liner. That's really good plastic. So I'm going to alter these with some napkins because I sort of want to still see that it's a tax invoice, but have something, you know, over the top. It also gives it a nice texture. So I've got some nice pink ones here. Keeping in theme with my journal, which is kind of greens and pinks. I don't know whether to do them all with this or I've got another one as well. I'll show you. This one here. I think maybe I might use part of that on one of them. Oh, my fingers are very shaky today. Sorry about that. Okay, so when you probably already know this if you've done any decoupage with napkins. They always come in a 2 or 3 ply, so you have to tear the white bit off the back. So I just usually wet my finger a bit and find the corner. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Another good trick is with sticky tape. What tape have I got here somewhere? Can't find any, so I need to find the edge. I'm not doing a very good job with this one. No, it's not working. See, this looks like it's 2 ply. Just a second, guys, I'll get some tape. So I've just got some washi tape. I'm hoping that it'll be sticky enough to work. So I know it works with sticky tape. And you just stick it and you pull it up. There you go. Pull it up. That was a lot easier, wasn't it? Pity I didn't get some tape out in the first place. Never mind. So, so that, yeah, it's 2 ply. There's only 2, I think. And don't throw the white ones away. I would coffee or tea dye those. I wouldn't throw them away. You can make some really nice, you know, paper from these by altering them. Which I might do that in another video. So don't throw away the white ones. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, there was only 1. So that's that one. So I assume that there's only 1 on this one as well. I really like this pattern actually for doing this. So pulling it up. There we go, and it'll sort of make a little hole. It'll start to rip. So it gets it started for you. Trying to keep the white piece intact as much as I can. Here we go. And I'm just hoping my phone doesn't go flat. I've got limited battery left on it, but I just wanted to get this video done. Now, so all we're going to do is I'm going to cut this in half first. Make it a little bit easier to work with. And just cut it a tiny bit smaller, just slightly bigger than the invoice. Slightly bigger because you can rip your when it's dry, you can tear the edges off. Just trying to save some of this. So there, I'm just over the edge. Cut another strip. And I know that was crooked. I just wanted to make sure I didn't cut it too skinny. And that's for that one. So I'll do this one first. Okay. So it's just a matter of getting some, I've got PVA glue mixed with just a little bit of water. It's just like a runny sort of consistency. Not too runny, you don't want it like water. It's still got a thickness to it. Or you can use Mod Podge. So I'm just going to paint it all over my invoice. Probably could do with a bigger brush. Now another way I have altered these in a previous journal is I actually just printed on them. I printed some of the digitals onto the invoice, and that looked nice too. So there we go. And now I'll just put my, actually let's move this one over. So I've got room for the others. And obviously using plastic so that you can peel it off afterwards. Now I'm laying this over the top, trying to, you know, iron out any wrinkles. I don't mind a few wrinkles. More adds to the texture, in my opinion. And then now I think some people leave it like this. But I like to also paint over the top because I like the nice finish that it gives. And it's going to make it more translucent. See how you can still see that it's a tax invoice through the napkin. And of course the other side will be the journaling space. Be a tall journaling card. So I thought they'd be really nice to add to the journal, any journal. So there's one. And cut this down a little bit. And I'm keeping all the little bits for when I might want to do a collage. About here. Excuse my arm. Actually, put that over there. Let's do the second one. Actually, am I going to have room for 3? I will if I put them close together. Let's put that one right there. And away we go. Whoops, nearly did it the wrong way. There we are. Lay that one down. And paint over it. You'll see the nice texture when it's done. It's really nice. I mean, I've used this technique before, but not on these invoices. So as I said, if you're in the US, or you're not in the US, you don't get those guest checks. Well, I imagine you could probably buy them online, but this is just as good alternative. You can use your invoice books. Okay, so that's that one. Just making sure that it's not going to glue to that one. It's not. And the third one, I think I want to try this sort of butterfly one. Do I want... I do want those flowers at the bottom. You can get some really beautiful napkins, can't you? I've seen some people with some absolutely gorgeous napkins, and always wonder where they get them from. I've got some from Spotlight before. I've also been gifted some, and these ones are nice. I got them from Red Dot. So if you're in Australia, get them from the local Red Dot store. They're quite thin, but it doesn't matter. Using them for this. And as I said, I want those flowers at the bottom. Okay, that's covered. Now because I've done these so close together, whoops, I nearly ripped that one. Just be careful putting your hands into the wet ones. I don't want this to stick over there. So I'm going to carefully that edge a little. Make sure I don't get any glue on that. And my brush. I got way too much glue, didn't I? I was thinking to myself, oh, I hope I've got enough, but I've got plenty. Maybe I should do some more decoupaging on something else while I'm here. I think this is a great thing, would be a great thing to do on doilies, your paper doilies. Because some of the ones I've got are really, really thin. And I might do that actually. That's what I might do. Not in this video, but yeah. See, that bit just ripped, but you can always just sort of mend it back together with your glue, or you can just tear off another little piece and you could glue it on there if you rip it. It's going to dry nice and sturdy because of the glue. Okay, so I need now to let that dry. And then once they're dry, I'll come back and show you how we're going to make journal cards. Okay, so all of my invoices are, or altered invoices are dry. And it's actually the next day. They only take maybe half an hour to dry. But I've just left it till the next day. So when they're dry, you've got this sort of nice what would you say? It's like a paper fabric almost, but they're still quite flimsy, so that's why I'm going to back them with some paper. So, if you wanted a bit more of if you wanted your surface to be a little bit more durable or shiny, or you can add another layer. And another thing you could also add, if you have it, is gel medium, and that'll give it a slight sheen and sort of make it almost plasticky. It just depends what look you're going for. But I'm just going to leave these ones just, like the papery sort of effect. So all you need to do is rip off or cut off your tissue paper. Actually, this is a little bit hard to rip now that it's dry. I'm going to turn it over and just cut it around the invoice. And I don't necessarily need mine to be perfect because I'm going to sew around it, and I kind of like that effect with a little bit hanging over. So we'll just cut off those edges. Beautiful altered invoice. As I said, I can't get the guest checks. I think they're only in the US. Well, I can't get them locally, but I think this is, a good alternative. So, invoices, and you can also do coffee dye these, which I am going to coffee dye some. Another thing I did in another journal, not sure if I mentioned this, but I printed onto them with some digitals, and that looks nice too. I glued these down. I have like a glue which is not permanent, it's reusable. So it's a spray glue. So I sprayed that glue onto a piece of A4 paper, and then I just stuck these onto it and ran them through the printer, and then I was able to pull them off afterwards. I have seen someone doing it with glue stick, and they're still able to peel them off, but I'm a little bit worried about being able to peel it off afterwards, so I haven't tried that. You can also do it with fabric, printing on fabric. Okay, so they're all cut out, and I've got some craft paper. It's sort of a really thin cardstock, so I want to see if they're all going to fit. It's a very tight fit, but they might. So I'm going to start gluing down with my glue stick. Oh, it's gone a bit... No, I'm not going to use that. It's gone a bit dry and yucky. Didn't expect that to happen. Perhaps the lid wasn't on properly. So I'm not using that one. Have I got another one? Nope, it's okay. I'll just use my tacky glue. So this is just to tack it down, because as I said, I'm sewing around mine, so it doesn't want to come out this morning. So I'm just using, you know, minimal glue. The only trouble with the tacky glue is it gets very tacky, and so it sometimes is hard to squeeze out of the tube. There we go, so just a little bit of glue. And that is about right. Let's put a little bit more under here. I might cut these little bits off the top and the bottom. Let's do another one. Just leaving a little bit of space to cut them out. That's it. I think my glue's warmed up now. It's a kind of warm up, I think. And then I'm hoping I can fit the 3. Yes, I can. So yeah, 3 of these will fit on an A4 sheet of paper. You can use your coffee or tea dyed papers. Maybe book pages on the back. And if you want to turn that into writing space, I would cover it with gesso so that it's still able to be written on the back if you use like a book page or something, or music paper. I think I'll use my big scissors for this. So I'm just going to cut and of course you can decorate these up, but I think I'm going to leave mine. I might just actually stick a quote on, I might find a quote and put it on the front. But the reason I want to leave them flat is because in the journal, in the flip-flop journal, you know, if I add too much, it's just going to be way too bulky. So I want, you know, most of my inserts to be kind of flattish, not too three-dimensional. Crooked. I don't know if that's the paper that's crooked or the invoice. I think it's just the invoice. Okay, so I'll just cut that there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way around. And I think I'll just use a straight stitch. And I might just sew around a couple of times. Let me see. I don't need the plastic anymore. If I can get my sewing machine without knocking things over. Okay, so my bobbin's nearly out. Hang on. Just have a little bit left. Hang on, I'll just sort that out and I'll come back. Okay, so I just had to rewind the, refill the bobbin. So now I'm going to go around in a straight stitch. I'll just do one row of stitching. I was going to do two, but I think one is fine. So that is it done, basically. So you can still see the invoice through there. Just has a nice feel to it. So it can now be journaled on the back. And let's see. Thinking of putting one in this pocket in my flip-flop journal. So that fits nicely in there. Okay, so that's just another idea, the altered invoices. And I'll be back with another video very soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.